Hey, I'd like you to see the contradiction in what this individual is saying. Now, my purpose is not to put anyone down, but my purpose is to put up truth. And sometimes when you're trying to concentrate on truth, it appears as though you enjoy slamming others on the mat. I'm not that type of person that I want to enjoy slamming someone on the mat. But I am the type of person that wants to distinguish truth and error. Now, I have to admit that this topic drew me in, and I really wanted to hear what this priest had to say. So he will go on in his condemnation of Freemasonry, as the Catholic Church does in its official stance, which is good. And we certainly would like to applaud that. However, there's a catch. And I caught him with the catch.
Protection of your own at any cost, but that is not acceptable for a Catholic. If you know somebody to be a criminal and you are called upon to testify, you have an obligation when you swear a legitimate oath to tell the truth in a trial. You have an obligation to tell the truth. If you perjure yourself, you've done two sins. One, you've taken a vain oath to protect the Mason, and two, you've taken a legitimate oath in a courtroom and you lie under oath. That is breaking the 8th commandment in two different ways. And that is unacceptable for any Christian.
Okay, I guess we might say he's got some devil horns there. Now, he's talking about taking oaths, and he will mention here in his talk about the oath that he had to take to the Society of Jesus. Jesuit oath. Now, Jesuit oath is pretty bad. In fact, somewhere in the history of U.S., in the congressional records, they actually published it because they wanted folks to see. That was a long time ago. It's in the written records of the U.S. But anyhow, he does a good job in saying about why Catholics should not be Masons. But
yet alone a Catholic. So this is something that nobody may take part in. And that this is one of the things that is very much a concern that we have with the Masonic Lodge. And then the third issue that I would bring up is especially in Europe, the Masonic Order has done a lot to try to destroy the Catholic Church so that there would be a purely secular society, and that they want to have easy divorce laws, the abolition of parochial schools, as I already mentioned. They especially tried to promote cremation and suppression of religious orders, especially my own order, the Society of Jesus.
what?
And they also have, as I mentioned before, a separation of the church and the state that was not part of our Constitution in the United States. I don't know about your Constitution. The only two constitutions I know of that had separation of church and state was the French Constitution and the Soviet Union's Constitution. I don't want to model a constitution on either one.
Now, a lot of speakers exalt the Constitution of the United States almost as if it is a document equal to the Holy Bible. But it was a constitution. It was a con. In fact, there have been several constitutions. And you could see one of my videos on the 3 cycles of the U.S. economy. There's the war cycle. there's the constitution cycle, and there's the corporation cycle. And those vary from time to time. So I'm not sure as to what constitution we're in right now, but it might be about the 4th or 5th. The actual original one got abolished when the original corporation got abolished. That's all they are. They're just charters for corporations.
Now, these are some of the problems that we have as Catholics. And we have to remember that the church does not prohibit membership in groups.
Okay, now he's trying to make a little provision there for a group. Remember, he's in a group. He's in Society of Jesus. He's a Jesuit. And they've been kind of like the left hand of the Catholic Church, or sort of the dark side of the Catholic Church, being very much involved in the torture of people who would not conform to the Catholic Church after the Reformation.
There's nothing wrong with belonging to a group, a society that's benevolent. We have lots of them inside the church. St. Vincent de Paul Society. How many of you work for the St. Vincent de Paul Society?
Okay, so he's going to take some of these, you might say, relatively minor and harmless societies and use them as a few jelly beans in a jelly bean bowl. But he's going to come to the big jelly bean here in just a minute.
A few of you here. Do you have any secret oaths? No. The only thing that you do is you help the poor. What a wonderful thing. And there's not enough hands went up for that. That's a good thing to join. And in the United States, we have the Knights of Columbus.
But he just talked about secret oaths, right? How bad they are, right? But just watch the subtlety of a Jesuit at work.
Knight of Columbus, and we don't have any secret oaths. The only thing that we do is we promise that we won't tell non-members what goes on in the initiation so that they can experience it for themselves.
But it's not a secret oath, is it? It's not a secret, dude. Why don't you tell us what they do for the Knights of Columbus? Why don't you tell us? Because you know the truth about the Knights of Columbus.
Not because it's a secret. We want them to experience it firsthand without having, the preparation. So I didn't.
Boy, that's smooth. Not because it's a secret. But I'm not going to tell you. No Knights of Columbus individual is going to tell you either. But it's not a secret. And he should go on the old television show, I've Got a Secret. And then he whispers in the ear of the host of the show, but I can't tell my secret because I'm a Knights of Columbus.
No, until I became a knight. But having gone through the Knights, I was very alert to this.
Okay, now I want to drill that word knight, K-N-I-G-H-T. And on some of my other channels, I get so many videos out, I don't remember where I put things. But I will show you that the whole period of medieval time was a hoax. Approximately 1,000 years it never happened. Knights in shining armor are BS. They never existed. And furthermore, castles never existed in medieval times because medieval times never happened. Castles, like a bunch of other stuff, were built by the Masons as tourist attractions. Just like the pyramids were built in Egypt as tourist attractions. Most likely built around 1800 by Napoleon's army. That's what Napoleon did. And who was Napoleon? Sir Robert Peel, founder of the Bobbies, London. I could go on and on, all right? He knows it's BS. The Knights of Columbus are just a branch of the Masons. And they say they don't believe any of the Masons' doctrines. They just believe their own doctrines of Catholic Church. Well, the Catholic Church has some truth and some error. And I'm not trying to get anybody riled up at me about slamming down the Catholic Church. In fact, I'll be honest with you, I grew up in Catholic Church. And I do have some measure of respect for the Catholic Church, because it does have a lot of strong stances on morality. And it does encourage church attendance, etc. But it has error in it. So you can't function in a place where there's truth and error together. Society of Jesus, occult. Knights of Columbus, part of the Masons. Let's let him finish. Now, he's speaking in Australia, but he's originally from the U.S.
Is this some sort of a secret oath? Not at all. And we don't take an oath, by the way. We just promise that we won't, reveal what happens, in the initiation levels, but there are no secret doctrines. As a matter of fact, the only doctrines...
Wait a minute. I think I just caught the touch of the nose. We all knows what the touch of the nose means. It means Pinocchio. We don't have any secret oaths, but yet you don't tell people what goes on at meetings, initiation, or anything. They have to join to find out.
Oh, the Knights of Columbus are the doctrines of the Catholic Church. And you have down here Knights of the Southern Cross, I believe. And the Knights, how many are Knights of the Southern Cross? Any members here of Knights of the Southern Cross? And again, do you have any secret oaths?
No.
Absolutely not. See? He's adamant. And I suspect not enough Knights, not enough hands went up for that either. Do you welcome any new members? And it's a great thing, because this is one of the organizations in the United States, the Knights of Columbus, and I'm sure it's staying here, that the men in the parishes work together to help build up the church, to evangelize, to help the poor.
Yeah, and they also have a bunch of hooky gooky costumes with hats with feathers in it. And swords. The Masons have swords. He's selling the Knights of Columbus. He's a salesperson. He's selling it, saying it's okay. The Masons are not okay, but Knights of Columbus are okay. But the Knights of Columbus are just a branch of the whole brotherhood.
And a wide variety of other things. It's a good thing to be part of these groups. But we don't have any secret doctrines. We don't have any blood oaths. They give Knights of Columbus swords, not us priests. I don't know if they think they were extra clumsy or what. But when I had gotten my 4th degrees of Knight of Columbus, I had just come in the...
You got what? A 4th degree? That sounds like the Masons to me, Friar Tuck from the medieval era. Sorry, I'm not going to buy your Society of Jesus lies.
From hunting wild game, and maybe they thought that I'd been dangerous enough already, so they didn't want to give me another weapon. But be that as it may, the Knights of Columbus don't have any secret oaths, and you can join these groups, but no Catholic in good standing may join the Masonic Lodge.
Yeah, but he just did join the Masonic Lodge. They just keep them separate. And they don't tell them. They're all Masons too. But they're the Catholic branch of the Masons. Look at the little smile on his face. Because he knows. He's giving him BS. But he loves it. And they're buying it. Why? Because he's wearing this collar. He's got a title. He's of the Society of Jesus. He's a Jesuit. And Jesuits are supposed to be like the brains. And not that anybody that's in another order doesn't have brains. That's not what I'm saying. But they're supposed to be like the intellectual branch, to be able to refute Protestantism and refute other falsehoods. So he's trying to refute Masons. But he is a Mason.
That is forbidden. That is something that is a serious sin and means that a person who does so may not receive the sacraments. So that's something that we have to keep very clear.
Okay, question and answer. Let's ask him a question. Do you have a stupid ring like the other Masons? Okay. Do you have to pay a fee to belong like the Masons? Do you have some kind of stupid secret handshake or secret coded words like the Masons? Got lots of questions for him. And just what did you discover when you became 4th degree? Do you want to discover what they discover at the 32nd degree in Masonhood, Scottish Rite? That Lucifer is the true God, and the God of the Bible is false, and the God of the Bible was terrible to Adam and Eve, and the serpent was right in what the serpent told them to do. You want to tell them that? You want to answer that question for me? You want to answer me another question? How you can proclaim to be in the church, in the true church, and telling people lies? Do you love the father of lies? Well, you might have some questions for this individual. So why don't you go ahead and ask them? There he is. Ask him some questions.
Can both
Thank you for watching.
Questions or comments via email
End of video.
by writing to